Emily Carr, born in 1871 and passed away in 1945, was a controversial Canadian artist and writer known for her unique contributions to the world of art, particularly for her depictions of the Indigenous peoples and landscapes of the Pacific Northwest. Her work is celebrated for its bold use of color, expressive brushwork, and a deep connection to the natural world. Born on December 13th, 1871, Carr was born in British Columbia. She was the eighth of nine children in the Carr family. Her parents were supportive of her artistic inclinations from an early age, and she received some formal art training in San Francisco and London during her youth. Spending time both in the US and England between 1889 and 1999, Carr attended the California School of Design of San Francisco and later studied in England, where she attended the Westminster School of Art and the Académie Colarossi in Paris. She was exposed to various art movements and styles during her time abroad. Upon her return in Canada in 1900 and 1912, she settled in her hometown of Victoria. Initially, she was painted in a traditional style, influenced by the European art that she had studied. However, later on, she developed a more distinctive style and modern approach, particularly after encountering the works of the Group of Seven. During 1912 and 1913, she began to explore Indigenous art and culture from the British Columbia Indigenous peoples, developing a deep appreciation for their totem poles, masks, and other artifacts. This period had a profound impact on her artistic selling. As mentioned before, she was exposed to the Group of Seven in 1927, which was a collective Canadian group of landscape painters, which inspired her by their commitment to capturing the essence of the Canadian landscape. She corresponded with members like Lauren Harris and formed a connection with their artistic ideals. During her more mature artistic period, she developed a signature style during the 1927 and 1930s period. This period was characterized by a bold use of color, strong brushstrokes, and a focus on the natural world. She painted landscapes, forests, and coastal scenes, often incorporating indigenous themes. In 1941, she began to contribute into the literary world. In addition to her painting, she published her first book, Clewick, that year, which won the Governor General's Award for Literature. Her writing provided insights into her artistic journey and interactions with the Indigenous communities. Although she received late recognition in the 1940s, Carr faced challenges and limited recognition during her lifetime. Her contributions to Canadian art gained increasing acclaim in the years following her death. She also received posthumous honors. She is now considered one of Canada's most significant and iconic artists. Her works are featured in major collections and retrospectives of her paintings continue to be held. She passed away on March 2nd, 1945, in her hometown of Victoria, British Columbia, leaving behind a legacy that has continued to grow in stature over the years. Emily Carr's artistic journey and dedication to capturing the spirit of the Canadian landscape, as well as her respect for the Indigenous cultures, have secured her a lasting place in the history books of Canadian art. Emily Carr's artwork is characterized by its bold, expressive style and deep connection to the natural and cultural landscapes of the Pacific Northwest. Her contributions to Canadian art are notable for the following key aspects: the Indigenous influence. Carr's engagement with the Indigenous art and culture is central theme in her work. She was one of the first Canadian artists to recognize the artistic value of the Indigenous totem poles, masks, and other artifacts. Her paintings often depict Indigenous villages, totem poles, and landscapes, reflecting a genuine appreciation for the spiritual and artistic elements of Indigenous cultures. Landscapes and nature. Carr had a profound connection to the Canadian landscape, particularly the forest and coastal regions of British Columbia. She sought to capture the essence and spirituality of the natural world. Her landscapes are often featured towering trees, dense forest, vibrant colors, conveying a sense of reverence for the wilderness. The use of bold and vivid colors contributes to the emotional impact of her work. A mature style. Carr's mature style, developed in the late 1920s and 1930s, is characterized by a bold and distinctive use of color. Her palette included earthy tones, rich greens, and vibrant blues, creating a sense of energy and vitality in her paintings. The brushwork in her mature works is expressive and dynamic, reflecting a sense of movement and emotions. This approach adds a layer of intensity to her depictions of landscapes and Indigenous subjects. Her connection to the Group of Seven. Carr was heavily influenced by the artistic ideals of the Group of Seven, a collective of Canadian landscape painters. Like them, she thought to capture the unique qualities of Canadian landscape, but incorporated a distinctive West Coast perspective. Her correspondence with members of the Group of Seven, such as Lauren Harris, showcased a shared commitment to exploring and celebrating Canada's natural beauty. Emily Carr's artwork has been exhibited in various galleries and museums both in Canada and international. Here are some of the institutions that have displayed her works. The Art Gallery of Greater Victoria, located in her hometown of Victoria, British Columbia. This gallery holds a significant collection of Emily Carr's work. It's an important institution for those interested in studying her art in the context of her own hometown. The Vancouver Art Gallery. Carr's paintings are a part of the collection at the Vancouver Art Gallery, which has featured her work in exhibitions highlighting the Group of Seven and other influential Canadian artists. The National Gallery of Canada, situated in Ottawa, The National Gallery has exhibited Carr's paintings as part of its commitment to showcasing the diversity and richness of Canadian art. The Royal BC Museum, located as well in Victoria, British Columbia, the museum has occasionally exhibited Carr's works, providing visitors with insights into both her art and the cultural and natural history of the region. The McMichael Canadian Art Collection, situated in Kleinburg, Ontario, the McMichael Collection is dedicated to Canadian art. It has featured Carr's paintings, particularly those that capture the spirit of the West Coast. The Art Gallery of Ontario, the AOG in Toronto, has displayed Carr's works in various exhibitions, contributing to the broader narrative of Canadian art. As mentioned before, her works have been featured in international exhibitions, bringing her work to a global audience. These exhibitions often explore her unique contribution to modernist art and her connections to international artistic movements. Of course, in this digital age, many online platforms feature her art collections online. Virtual exhibitions and digital archives provide access to Emily Carr's artwork for a global audience, allowing people to explore her paintings remotely. It's important to check with specific institutions and galleries for current or upcoming exhibitions featuring Emily Carr's artwork, as exhibitions and displays may change over time. Additionally, her paintings are part of many private collections, so they may be featured in various galleries and exhibitions around the world.